Hello everyone. Cloud Imperium Games recently held a technical deep dive explaining exactly what went wrong with Star Citizen's Alpha 4.8 release and more importantly what they're doing to prevent similar problems in the future. If you've been struggling with crashes, login issues, shard locks, desync, rubber banding or poor server performance over the last month, this discussion provided some of the clearest answers we've had so far. Let's break down the key points. The first thing CIG addressed was the overall state of Alpha 4.8. While many players compared the update to some of Star Citizen's most problematic releases, the developers explained that the situation was caused by several separate issues hitting at the same time. Rather than one single catastrophic failure, a major part of 4.8 was the introduction of new persistence and entitlement systems. These systems are designed to improve long-term ownership tracking for ships, items, and player assets. The rollout itself was largely successful, but it coincided with a number of unrelated infrastructure and stability problems that compounded into a much larger issue for players. The team also highlighted an important side effect of new gameplay systems. Features such as item recovery, insurance changes, and improved persistence have changed how players interact with the universe. More abandoned ships, more claimed vehicles, and more persistent entities are remaining active throughout the game world than before. While these features are working as intended, they are creating additional load that the servers now need to manage. When discussing why some hotfixes appeared to make things worse, the developers explained that several of the problems came from unexpected interactions between old and new systems. In some cases, fixes designed to solve one issue ended up creating new validation problems elsewhere. The 4.82 cycle in particular exposed weaknesses in the current testing and release process, forcing operations teams to manually repair affected shards and persistent records after deployment. CIG openly acknowledged that their existing validation tools are no longer keeping pace with the scale and complexity of the game. To address this, the company is developing automated, machine-driven validation systems designed to catch cross-system conflicts before updates reach the live environment. Early versions of these tools are expected to play a role during the Alpha 4.9 cycle. Another major topic was server performance. According to CIG, low server frame rates remain one of the biggest causes of desync, rubber banding, delayed interactions, and unresponsive AI. Several systems were identified as major contributors to server load, including AI spawning and pathfinding, large numbers of abandoned ships and vehicles, environmental simulation systems, and overall entity density throughout the persistent universe. The developers believe that reducing these bottlenecks will have a significant impact on gameplay responsiveness. Ship cleanup was another area discussed in detail. Rather than relying purely on timers, Star Citizen's cleanup systems increasingly focus on entity density and server conditions. However, abandoned ships and wrecks are generating more overhead than originally expected. CIG is now working on solutions that improve performance while still supporting future gameplay systems such as salvage, persistence, and large-scale battles. The team also spoke about back-end reliability. Many of Star Citizen's older systems were originally designed before the current cloud-based infrastructure existed. Features such as inventory, reputation, and social services now rely heavily on back-end communication. To improve stability, CIG is implementing what they describe as a resiliency initiative focused on better failure handling, automated recovery systems, and reducing dependencies between services. Some of these improvements have already reduced inventory delays and other back-end related issues. One of the most frustrating issues for players has been shard locking and infinite loading screens. The developers confirmed that infrastructure failures and character persistence problems have been major contributors. Additional monitoring tools and automated recovery systems are currently being implemented to help detect and resolve these situations faster. Shard lock related errors are also listed among the known issues currently being addressed. Looking ahead to Alpha 4.9, CIG says bug prioritization is becoming increasingly focused on player impact rather than purely technical severity. Areas receiving special attention include instance gameplay, freight elevators, inventory, quantum travel, docking, login flow, ship destruction systems, and the new player experience. Instancing and the updated Siege of Orison experience are currently among the headline features planned for the patch. The overall message from the Tech Talk was straightforward. CIG acknowledges that the 4.8 release cycle created significant frustration for players. The developers believe they understand the primary causes behind the issues, have already resolved many of the most severe problems, and are introducing new validation, monitoring, and recovery systems aimed at preventing similar failures in future updates. Whether those improvements translate into a smoother Alpha 4.9 remains to be seen, but the discussion offered one of the most transparent looks yet at the technical challenges facing Star Citizen and the steps being taken to address them. Let me know what your experience with 4.8 has been and whether you're optimistic about 4.9. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.